taking a look at Poser 8's interface, you're going to notice that there are really 5 locations you're going to be working in on a regular basis. Now, the first is the preview area. This is where we preview all the results of our posing. And we're currently viewing through this preview using the main camera. Now, the preview space is divided up into several rooms, so to speak. The materials room, which is giving us a preview of the materials associated with this object. Currently, it's just a blue color. Let's go to the face room. Now, we're getting a message telling us that there isn't really a face applied to this character. That's okay. Just click OK. This skeletal figure that we've seen in the pose room does not have a standard face, but it just gives you an idea as to what you have to look forward to in terms of redefining your character's faces. And we're going to talk about this later on as well. Let's go to the hair room. This is a fun little area because this is where we can design all types of hair. We can determine its density, the tip width, the root width, the clumpiness, and so forth. Let's go to the cloth room. We can design our clothing. We can determine how clothing fits to our character, whether it's tight to the body or loose on the body. And the cloth room will be used quite a bit in animation. Now, we won't use animation in this particular DVD. We will in DVD number 3, dealing with Introduction to Animating in Poser. Alright, go to the setup room. And it's just basically telling us if we make authorizations, there's going to be some consequences. Let's go ahead and click OK, and we can see the bones in our character. Okay, and again, this is going to relate to the animation aspects of the video. And if we want to get additional characters like dinosaurs or science fiction monsters, we can click on the Content tab, and what this will do is take us directly to Content Paradise. And within Content Paradise, we can decide all types of options for models and figures or even props to import into Poser 8. Now let's go back to the pose room. The second area we're going to be working in regularly is going to be the navigational tools. They're listed right here on the left-hand side of our interface. The top for editing your character, for your camera, and your light controls. And we even have the document display controls as well, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. The third place are going to be your menus. So when I say File menu, Edit menu, Figure menu, you know exactly where I am and what I'm talking about. And within each menu are additional submenus, and we're going to talk about these a little bit later on, but we can access deeper commands within the Poser program. And the fourth place you're going to access most of your commands are going to be in your library. Your library is actually divided up into several additional libraries in the form of buttons. By default, we're in the character or the figures library, and this is where we can access our figures. So if I scroll down, and how about if I come over to here and let's look for G2, and under G2 we have an imported character called James, and if I select it, it will increase to a larger thumbnail size. Now that's really nice. Next to it, we have all the posing options. We click on the poses, and we scroll down. We have a variety of folders for a variety of type of poses: action, comic book, fighting. If I click on fighting 1, and the thumbnail resizes to show us that particular pose. And I'm clicking on fighting 2. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to, this is for the head. And as we scroll down, we have different options or facial expressions. James angry, fear, goofed, and so forth. And by clicking on this, and if we had the full texture character, we can actually see the facial expressions applied to the character. We'll do that in just a little bit. We have the hair options here, or the hair library. And here you have all types of additions and options for different characters. If we go to Poser 7, these are our legacy characters, and we have the Ben hair, and we click on that one. It gives you a little bit of preview of what little Ben's going to look like with the kinky straight hair. Now let's go to our hands library, and we can apply different options here as well. Let's move over to the props. Scroll through, we have doors, they have extras, and we can go to our legacy, like Poser 6. Go to the Ben clothing and take a look at some of the pants. Alright, let's go over to the light library. Click on it, and this is actually giving us a preview of the type of lighting that can be applied to the character. And as we click on each one, it tries to give you a visual. In fact, let's go ahead and double click on it, and you can see that the lighting is automatically applied to the character. Let's zoom in a little bit closer to the character and pan it down using my space bar. Alt key, rotate here up just a little bit. Let's go to neutral, double click on the neutral, so we can apply various lighting styles directly to the character. And I'm hitting winter. Let's go over to the camera library, and we have extreme fisheye. Okay, we apply that, and it is automatically applied to our character. And as we move around it, we got the extreme fisheye mode. And let's go down to another option. How about this one here? Well, that's just regular fisheye lens. How about the right lens? There we go. Right side, left side. And once again, all of our views is previewed through particular types of cameras. And finally, we're going to go over to the materials. We have sneakers for shoes, a yellow t-shirt, and these materials can be applied to your clothing, like your pants. We got green pants here, we have black pants here, and so forth. And as I scroll down, we can kind of take a look at various libraries relating to various characters. We have Kelvin G2 in this case, and we can see different options for that. Alright, now I'm going to go back to my figures library, and the last place you're going to be accessing a lot of your commands is right down here under your parameters and properties. And every object has a parameter. If I decide to click on a particular light source, you would see the parameters for the light source adjust or pop up right about over in here. If I click on the character, the parameters for that character will show right down over in here. Now, if you're going to notice that it's divided up between yellow text and green text. Your yellow text represents the posing options, and your green represents your scaling or stretching options. Alright, so that gives us a good understanding as to where things are in the program. We'll go a lot more in detail as we get further into this tutorial. But for now, let's go on to understanding our navigational tools.